We have officially started. We are back. Hello, everybody. My name is Lucas. This is Lucas G Variety, and we are back for the Bandit Blades actual play. Bandit Blades, the Immortals. And this is, what's today? March the... Does it say March 3rd? 3/3/22? That's right.
Yep.
With our episode number 16. They'll be coming around the mountain. When they come. No, they'll be coming around the mountain. Preemptively naming everything. It seems to work out most time pretty well. Anyways, I'm back with all my friends. Welcome, gentlemen, back to another exciting Bandit Blades. As we come off last time, a mission to save the Chosen, who was corrupted or poisoned with some corrupted poison from the broken blighter when they used to be ex-lovers. What? Well, they are ex-lovers. They used to be lovers. I wish I could
be.
They used to be ex-lovers.
They're back together.
They're back together again.
They're closer than ever, quite literally.
I wish I knew how to speak English. I don't. So we're back in camp. We've been doing a lot of the camp phase stuff, and we're gonna pick up there, and then we're gonna do some free play scenes and kind of go on. Or let's see, when do the free play scenes come into effect, Commander? Let's see.
Technically they don't, but that's up to you. Because we got the back at camp scene, which is a technically narrated free play that's kicked off by the Lord Keeper. Time passing, food spent.
And that's actually where we left off, was these selected back at camp scene. But I don't know if you have to, right? Because, or no, does Lord Keeper always select one?
If there is a Lord Keeper. If there's not, it's always the GM picks the back at camp scene.
Well, I don't have them in front of me.
So what is our morale at?
8.
8. So that is high morale. So let's see of our list here. Sorry. We have 2 left on the list of must pick before I move on to the next level. So we're going to go with supply crates have gone missing and no one admits to knowing why.
Again.
Was that already picked before?
I think we had that before.
Okay,
Yeah, no,
I didn't get marked.
happened.
Oh, that was when I wasn't technically supposed to be the Lord Keeper. Somebody else was playing him. Okay, a young shoulder,
with it.
a young
What?
a young soldier is detonating munitions, egged on by his friends. So, let me look at the names of the Marshall
Wow.
sheet.
And you're in the mountains too. What a good place to set off detonations with the echoing.
Well, technically, we're at the place where the munitions would be made.
That's
Up in
true.
the Black Rocks Mountains. So, someone from the Grinning Ravens is tossing munitions off the side of the mountain, and everyone's laughing and see if there's a giant boulder that's barely there, and they're all trying to see how many throws it takes each guy to knock it loose. And so far, it's the third person taking their turn, and it hasn't fallen loose yet, right when everyone comes back to camp, including Joster.
And
So
Joster. Oh, sorry.
who do you want to play which characters, including me, if you want?
You get to be the young rook that's currently throwing.
No.
Joster gets to be Joster. And Mike gets to be the guy handing you the munitions right as Joster walks up.
Oh, what was that? Which one am I? Sorry.
You're the guy handing Lucas the grenade to toss down because it's his turn.
So we're on the Grinning Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna go with the first guy I saw. I'm gonna be Leo Moldovich.
I am going to be Leo Maldinovich.
That's what I just said.
No, I'm sorry, my brain just.
Unless,
He likes his name so much, he's going to do it too.
unless you really want.
No, I'll
Split
be,
personalities.
They're twins.
Yeah, no, I'll be Jane Louis Morden.
Dame. All right.
Yep.
All right. I'm just gonna make a note in the character sheet. All right. 2 didn't work, but I think 3 times lucky, Dame. Or sorry, 3 times lucky, Lewis. Pass it to me.
Oh, yeah. Come on, you've been at this. You've done 2 throws already, and the first one didn't even land near the rock. You threw it across. You threw it down into the valley itself, and the last one you nearly blew off You nearly blew off your own foot there. Come on, just give it up, man.
Well-
I say as I toss him one of the grenades.
And these grenades, ones we can pull a pin since we're kind of getting to that era, or we have to like kind of light them like an old school.
Little
bomb?
A, little B. It's like a time fuse. So
Okay.
you crunch it, and it's chemically going to explode after a certain amount of time.
Okay.
A certain amount of time is some time.
Sure. So I'll have this apple, like he catches it, and he's like, all right. And he hasn't quite pinched the fuse yet to crunch it, you know, the little chemical reaction. But he's like, yes, but now I know. And I know right where I'm going to drop it. So, you ready? Here we go. Just gonna... I don't know when Joster is coming in here.
Sorry, a little bit of context just before I come barging on in here. What time of day is it? It's like, I picture night.
I'm picturing just before night. Like it's
dusk.
getting dark. Everybody's getting back because the second team had the farthest away, but we all supposedly came back almost the same time.
And you said this is a cliff face. We're kind
Yeah,
of like
they're
on
off
the
like
top
one
of the
cliff. Yep.
The town's probably like behind us maybe, and we're off away from it looking down somewhere.
Mhm.
No.
And a
I
nice
think-
place big enough for everybody to be set up and have our normal layout as best possible.
Awesome. And so they're on the edge of camp, and I think Joster is like just getting back with the excuse me, the Shattered Lions, right? Yeah. No, Nucket, not Macket.
Ghost Owls.
The Ghost Owls. Yeah, you're right. He's just getting back with the Ghost Owls when like he'll hear like that distant like he'll like look in the like direction of camp, and he'll like look back and like to everyone like, okay, it's like go time, and everybody's like already beaten and battered. We can't catch a break, and we're like slinking through the underbrush, like moving towards where this is, and this is like just when that scene started up. I think the sun is on the far side, so it's like obscuring. You guys are just silhouettes in front of us, lighting grenades. And we burst out. Joster obviously leading the way, even though he's quite battered, and it looks like he's been through hell and back. He'll like burst out, everyone with their guns drawn. And we'll shout out, "Get down, all of you." Yeah. You're all prisoners.
Whoa, 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 whoa!
Dame's just gonna kind of look over and like she's not even getting up at this point, and she's just like, "You captured some of your own people. Great job, boss."
Yeah. We're all friendlies. Friendlies, officer.
By the way, you might want to toss that one. That you lit that one in your hand.
What? No, I did. Hey!
Over the shoulder. Yeah.
It's probably just in time to it just gets over the edge, but enough to like throw him forward as it blows up behind him. So he's eating snow right in front of the officer. Like,
Okay. Yeah, and you guys, perfect. And upon like the light, the flash of the light of the bomb, illuminates their faces and everything, and I'm able to get a good glimpse. I see these like our men. I see the insignias of the Legion, and I think it just makes me like that made things worse in
yeah.
Joster's eyes. He'll go, "What the?" I gotta really think my language through here, and I also need to get some semblance of my accent back. What? I'll trudge forward, I think, and get close to you, Leo, and I'll like grab you by the scruff and like lift you up to where like your toes are just barely on the ground, and I'll go, "What the hell do you think you're doing here?
Officer,
Wasting Legion ammunition for shits and giggles."
we just blow out some steam. The town has so much extra. We took some of theirs. Just
And like put down the shovel, Leo. I'll get you. I'll go, "This is not Legion ammunition. You stole this from the good people providing us shelter."
they didn't seem to care. They were just
They didn't seem to care. The people stockpiling weapons for the potential apocalypse approaching from the south.
Leo, let me handle this, and Dame will get up and she'll kind of just move between them and kind of push Leo back, but not towards, like, push them back just enough that he kind of stumbles near the cliff.
I'll go. Nugget, grab this one. In the same position.
Oh, no. Nugget is, bearing in mind, right, has like a massive hole in his chest, is on like 1 level 3, 2 level 2, and 2 level 1.
Maybe not Nugget.
He is very much not in a good way, but you know what? Ever, the truest lad. He wimbles and wombles his way over and goes to put his hands on the recruit's shoulders. The recruit could very easily squirrel himself away, but the attempt is made. The attempt is there.
Oh, I think you get him, because he's too pissing his pants right now to try to escape. Where's he gonna go? Is that...
Meanwhile, Dame just kind of like looks at Nugget and kind of looks at the hand on her shoulder and just goes, "Oh no, I've been caught." Now, to better
You are
explain
prisoner.
what Leo here can't, because he's a bumbling buffoon.
No,
offense, Leo.
Yeah.
I traded for these with personal pay because I figured that we needed to make sure that Leo could actually throw a grenade.
I'll turn towards Leo, and then I'll turn back towards you, Dame, and I'll go. He isn't worth a quarter his weight in grenades.
That's why I hoped that he would at least become a fifth the worth at least a fifth of his weight in grenades.
I'll motion towards Nugget to like turn Dame around, and I'll turn Leo around as well. So like they're like looking off the cliff side, and I want to like push them up on their back, like uncomfortably close to the edge, and I'll be like whispering over their shoulders. I'll be like, "Do you see this? Isn't it beautiful? Sunset in the mountains. Do you see it?
Yeah.
All the land,
Yes,
the
sir.
forests, the valleys, the other mountains.
Yes, sir.
Do you see it all? Do you see the beauty? Well, they all see you now. They all see all of us. Everyone down there knows the Legion is here now, be they living or dead. You have given up our position, and you have risked the safety of every soldier, civilian, and, well, ne'er-do-weller up here. Do you understand the gravity of your choices? This is not some playground for you to come out and have a good time in. This is war. This is worse than war. This is survival. And if you want to have a good time, you can find it 6 feet under the dirt, where none of this exists anymore. But if you want to keep pushing forward, if you want to survive and see the light of another day, you must never do anything like this again. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Crystal boss, but I do have a question.
Clear as crystal.
I'll turn towards you, like I dare you.
More
Well,
clear.
sir, seeing that doing our job and such has nearly led to several of our deaths in the face of, at camp no less, and he kind of looks over towards the camp, more eyeing towards Trey and that stuff. We're just as much as danger from the undead and whatever's out there as we are from our hero that I assume you'll come back to save. letting off a little bit of steam, especially when the pressure of, if you are even slightly corrupted, she'll come and chop your head off. At best, is that not even a fair trade?
Get you staring daggers into you, silent for an uncomfortably long, and I'll say, if I was half the leader that she was, all 5 of you would be laying in pools of your own blood right now.
Oh.
You do not speak about the chosen that way. Ever. There's a reason she was chosen. And there's a reason I and every other member of the Ghost Owls just risked our lives to save her. You are a rookie. You don't know what it's like out there.
Boss, I think this one's the soldier one. The other one's the rookie. The one with the grenades was the rookie, and this one's the boss one. This one's like the not
oh
one.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. And who declared that, huh? I see
suppose you
5
did.
rookies in front of me. I see 5 individuals who can't think one step ahead of where they are.
We're not supposed
I
to being a
see.
rookie or a soldier's relative, then, isn't it? Like, if no one declares you're not a rookie anymore, right? Then it's subjective. Like, how do we know that you're the officer if no one declared it? It's like subjective.
Yes,
right?
you're
It's
right.
all-
It
it's all
is subjective.
relative.
It is subjective. And so,
It's a dressing
here is
down.
what I will subject you to. You and your squad will make camp, as you see it's so dangerous around here. You'll make camp 1 mile down the road. You'll be our lookouts. And if any mess you've attracted comes our way, well, let a flare into the sky, so at least your deaths are not in vain. And when it comes time for us to venture out again, well, I'd like to thank you all for volunteering. I'll be speaking with the marshal after this. I'll let them know how enthusiastic you all are when it comes to putting your skills to the test. Am I understood?
Sir. Repeat it.
Yes, sir. He says with like almost a venomous undertone, like what? Not someone who's going to just straight up leave the Legion because of this, because she is loyal to the Legion and loyal to the people. But she didn't
We the
exactly take
people.
the officers, compelling speech to heart.
I think that was... Sorry. Is that the scene, or do we go a little more?
I think that's where we ended. I think I
I'd
kind of
say
wrote
that's
things
the
down.
scene.
That's a great scene. Mike, let me ask you, because I have a clock that hasn't been filled in yet, but I feel through the role playing, I would like to put a tick on the Legionnaires' distrust or desertion. 6 o'clock.
I feel like you could put one there. She's not about to desert, but she's upset with the leadership, to say the least.
I think that is fair.
I'd be upset with leadership. Yeah.
It's-
You were doing something legal, and the guy comes in and is like, "Hey, fuck you, man! You're not allowed to throw grenades. That's not very nice." Like, I'd be quite pissed personally. In fact, Nuggets also pissed, and he's probably, not pissed, doesn't understand what's happened, but he's probably going to actually sit with you for your Vanguard scouting duties, because he wants to throw grenades. He thinks that sounds like a fun time.
I mean, hey, the farther we are from Shreya, the less likely you should just stab us in the back.
Right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Mike
Yeah.
continues on. I just want to say, well done, Officer Joster. And Mike. And, well, everybody.
That's why I chose him.
I feel, I think, and it's not just desertion. It's the clock that just gets them. It's rumors spread. There's grumblings. There's a little dissension. You know, it happens, right? Especially when things get really bad. It's been pretty good. Your morale's been up, but you still have lost people. You're in the cold mountains. You've been marching for months. You know, there's this, no matter how good things are, they can be erased quickly when bad things happen, you know? But, anyways, that's just my IMO. So, nice scene that you set there, Lord Keeper Commander. Commander Lord Keeper.
Someone paid the big bucks.
and the two returning parties get home, unfortunately, with the death of two rookies from the Ember Wolves, I believe it was.
Yep.
Let me bring up my mission stats here. So, the auto fail was from the area recon. We didn't get to do that, but there was the penalty was +1 pressure, which we've already applied. So there'll actually be 2 pressure on this roll coming up here pretty soon. Where they walk, which is the troop recon, it was a partial success. So you got an asset, which I forgot what the asset was. You got 1 intel, 1 favor for mercy, which I applied to Shreya last time. And she is, if you guys are curious, because she has a 4 o'clock, which levels her up every time you get favor for her. She's 3 out of 4. So you got that. And then the asset, I think, is that when we decided you got the cannon? Because we were kind of arguing about it. So you got, I don't know how that works into it. But you guys, or did I not give you an asset? I can't remember. Anyways, and then the humble sacrifice was the primary. Shreya does not die. You know, we're going to roleplay that. And yeah, you got the Living God's Blessing, which means the specialists and soldiers all got +1 advance on that mission. And you got +1 supply. So we can do more scenes, or we can save them a little bit and move on into the camp phase. What do you guys want to do?
I'd be fine with
I'm
doing
with
another
either.
scene or 2 or 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm trying to we'll get a scene started that I don't have to be in right away, so I can see if I don't remember what the asset was.
Wasn't it siege equipment?
I'm trying to remember if it had to be, because I don't remember anything coming. All right, where are you, Alexander? I'm just gonna look at your stuff.
Right here.
Religious supplies, horses, or did you get horses? It might have been that you got more horses.
We had horses.
I thought we took horses with the alchemist.
Well, you have
We took.
4 uses of horses left out of 6, so I almost feel like you got a new one of those. We would have marked it. Supply cart, siege weapons, you got 1. So we have everything marked. I'm just going to think about it for a minute. But I have some other ideas for scenes. You guys might have some too. So this can happen anywhere between the camp here on the road to the next place, up into the mountains even further, or after you've made camp in Kalos Pass.
Well, in between us going someplace, there is the supply officer's stuff. All his stuff happens right after the time passes. So, like, there's the back of camp scene, there's the pressure, the food, if there was enough people, the lure keeper will tell the story, and then the campaign actions were only for the quartermaster. And then the spy dispatching, and then the Legion would advance.
Yep. I was going to say we could still do free play scenes before all that if we want, or we can just get it out of the way now and then get to our free play scenes. That's what I was asking. It won't take long because we're actually pretty much near the end of that, right? Shall we? Should we see where you guys end up?
Shall we?
All right, let's do that, and then we're going to pretty much have role play for the rest of the night until we get the missions have already been rolled up and kind of decided. They can change if they need to, depending on how we do stuff, but I have those people placed. So we will have the command staff come together for their mission meeting. We'll do it in character, and I have some NPCs and some things to introduce at that time. The important thing is, actually, I think we'll do at least one scene before we move on. So as there's been a scout, we'll play off the same scene that was waiting for Joster's group to arrive. Joster, as you reprimand them and they take off to pack up their camp and move down a mile down the road, right? You turn into camp, and there's a guy a runner comes up to you, and he's like, "Were you successful? Do you have what you need?"
I'll just like gesture towards where we have like the whole freaking body, and like we'll like lift the cloth up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be like, we got that and more, friend. I'll
All
pat
right.
him on the shoulder.
He's like, "Great," and he pulls out a flare gun and he aims it back over into the east. Yeah, we're trying to keep a low profile, right? So I guess flare guns work here. He does a. He turns as a huge loud whistle, and there's a guy on a horse back in the camp who sees it, waves, jumps on, and takes off into the area where, because Shreya was not staying in your camp, right? She was making everybody feel weird and different. So that guy takes off in the direction Shreya was supposed to be. So like they're waiting because time is of the essence. And you get back into camp, and you see the mercies are there, and of course, camp medic Zorm is there, awaiting Joster. We're going to continue the scene real quick as you come limping in. It's like, "Oh, we'll see to your injuries, but I've been told I must receive the heart as soon as possible. For Shreya, we must start mixing poultices and chemicals. A little bit of black shot, I feel, is appropriate here. Give me some black shot. Black shot, please. Do you have what we need, sir?
Imagine it's in like a little like delicate case, like a little like box. I open it up and it like glows or something, right?
Well, it's the heart, right?
Yeah.
I think
and, like I'll like open it up. I'll be like, it won't stop. And usually when you take it out, it's like Poco. It stops. But yeah, well, and I'll just push it into your hand.
Ooh, I just knocked over a light with my hat. It sounds very Zorm-like. Sorry, 1 second. He's like, "Oh, so interesting." He takes it out with his bare hand. And he's just like, it's like, tunk, 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 tunk. He's like, "Oh, you're a curious little bugger, aren't you?" Whoa. He's like juggling it back inside the medic tent. He's like, don't you get away from me. Don't you get away from me. I suggest you get patched up and get as far away from my tent as possible. Because when Shreya comes in, she makes everybody feel a little funny. It's going to be a long process. So, do I have any assistants to help me? And he looks around. There's just like a couple mercies that are kind of like, we kind of do that, but we don't really. Yes. You. And so he gets in. He's like, good. He's supposed to be the one that patches you guys up, but he starts to completely ignore everybody as he gets to work. I think you have a couple alchemists too, don't you?
Yes. One,
Yeah, two.
at least. 2?
Yep. So he's like, Ether, Ethel, I need your assistance. Mercies, Lucilla, Claudia, we can all work on this together. So, who wants to play? Does someone want to play Zorm so I can play Shreya? And does someone want to play an alchemist or a mercy? No, I don't have to.
I guess Zorm's pretty important here. If nobody else wants to take him.
I mean, I don't mind taking one of them. I mean,
Yeah, I'm down taking one of the mercies.
Dan,
I'll
you've
take
been my other Zorm guy. Are you good if you good if Dom plays Zorm?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Dan can take
I
him.
played Warzorm.
You do. You play Warzorm. Okay. I can't give you this
awesome.
hat, Dom. I cannot give you the hat through the computer. But you just have to in spirit have the hat on. What is this? What is that? I don't know what it is, but it works. Okay. I can't it's fade into the green screen, but yeah, okay. It's gonna be they're gonna start doing something. Oh yeah, the hat. You can do the virtual. There we go. Since I'm making this scene, why don't you, Charles, user, play the alchemist, Ether? He's the one that you guys saved.
oh, Magnus. Anyone but Magnus. Sure.
Ether
So-
Magnus. Yeah, he's the one that the shade had gotten there and made replicas of his assistants, remember? And you had to fight that
What is
corrupted
that?
spirit. And then, let's see. Mike can play Ethel.
Can I actually play one of the mercies?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Play whatever one.
I'll
Di-
play Claudia.
Dan, you want in on this?
Who?
Just say Just say no then.
I'm good.
You're good? Okay.
P vibes.
So we got a Mercy, an Alchemist, and a Zorm. And then it takes people clear away and they know she's coming and try to get away.
I think the reason I don't want to play one of the normal folks is the commander has fallen her in to assist.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
what a guy.
So you've joined her?
Yep.
She
Despite the ickiness.
Yeah, you feel... Let's see. Everybody will have some type of symptom, physical or mental. I think Mike's character feels like he has lice times 1,000. Or she, all over. Magus, you feel like you can feel... Because alchemists have to be aware of corruption themselves. You feel like you can feel corruption on the border of your sight. Like you feel like there's things at your edge of your vision, and it's creepy. It gets even more profound as it gets closer. Zorm doesn't feel anything different too much because he already is semi-insane. But you can play him however you feel fit. And Commander, I'm not sure about you. I feel like...
No one's sure about me.
I feel like there's
So successful.
there's some type of deep empathy. Like your empathy for her grows weird and strange at this moment. Like different than what it normally is. You take it how you want. But she comes in, she's like 7 foot tall. She has her horse. She gets off a ways, and then she can barely walk on her own. She broke her staff. She still has her long spear, but still broken. She hasn't been able to do anything because she's just out of it. And she's leaning on it, and you can easily see like the veins of black have reached up through her face. Mm-hmm. And she's heavily poisoned. And she sees Commander from far off. She's like, "Stay away.
Nice.
I got it."
As the commanding officer of the Legion, it's my duty to escort the lady to her surgery. I step beside her. You may use my shoulder if you wish.
I could kill you just by being in the vicinity of me. No, you should have as few people around as possible.
Death is the duty of the Legion.
He goes,
Duty.
"Save your honor crap. I don't care right now." She seems a
You're
little
wasting time. Let's go.
She seems a little more emotional, but you know what? Despite all that, she does lean on you, and she's heavy because she still wears her armor, and she's
But his bravado is there.
Yeah, your bravado is now outweighed by her.
He's prideful.
Her actual weight. Yeah.
Yeah. One of his traits is prideful.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
And his reputation is he's unstoppable because of his pride is absolute. So
All right.
it's hurting him. It hurts. It feels like someone's squishing him down 2 sizes into a boot that's half the size of the size he's being squished. But he's doing it anyway.
Okay. All right. I like that. Zorm and the others, you've been working on this for like an hour and a half, just getting it right, like chopping the heart up, grinding it, mixing it with chemicals, trying to get some type of potion or elixir. Or I don't know. You guys can tell me, but she's coming before you even hear her. You see the silvery radiance, which has been kind of shadowed, that she usually gives off. And you can feel that bolstering that you usually get, but it's also been changed. And that's when you start feeling the symptoms that you have, a few moments before. So she hasn't quite walked in yet. And I'll leave it to you here.
So I mean, this probably isn't the best time to ask such a question, being so close. And naturally, this stays within the room. But alchemy requires a lot of corruption, and when I was saved by those brave legionnaires, I was very happy to go and help. But I've been speaking to some of the lads in the camp, and this champion doesn't like corruption, and I have to take corruption to do my work, and and so I mean, given that we're fighting living beings of corruption, I mean, again, is it really worth trying to save her? I mean, I didn't see her that much during the combat. I mean, I was not, away doing other things. But from what I was told, there was lots of black veins, very corrupted. If that had happened to me or you or any of us, we'd be dead. So why 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 does she get to carry on when she would murder all of us for looking like this? I mean, of course I'll do what needs to be done, but it bears thinking at least.
Zorn will like
Feel like,
shrug. Like, what's there to think about? If we're corrupted, she'd kill us. But if she's corrupted, I mean, could you kill her?
It feels a bit one rule for some, and then an entirely different set of rules for
Right.
everybody else.
You do know her name, right?
No, I've forgotten her name. Out of
Shreya.
character.
Shreya, but her title is more important. The title. The title. You know the title. She's the Shreya, the
I do not think he is following.
the she's not selected, but she's
Appointed?
you're
Elected?
really she's chosen.
Volunteered?
The chosen. She's the chosen. So she gets to choose what rules she follows and which one she doesn't. It's in the name.
Can I speak to someone else? Actually, I think I don't quite think you're quite on it. You know,
on it. I've been on it since Dawn it.
When was Donnet?
Dawn. It. You know it. Dawn. It.
You know what, friendo?
Makes so much sense
have
it rhymes.
No idea what you have said the entire time. Anyway, shall we?
Yeah, I feel like Claudia just speaks up though now at this point. Now that there's a lull in the moment, and just goes, because it is our duty to help those who need it.
That too. Something about doctors, Hippocratics or whatever. Hippocratic. Or is that what we're talking about?
I always thought the Hippocratic Oath was Hippocratic Oath was just a hip hop band.
Claudia's just gonna sigh, looking at this, and go, I really wish I hadn't. I really wish that I didn't have this power and had to deal with these people.
Who? Oh, the chosen. Yeah, they can be finicky.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I'm talking about you two loons.
They're very wayward. Are the big spoopy ladies?
And that's when the flap opens and comes in Shreya.
Oh, Shreya, you're looking great as ever. Come on over.
Very dark and brooding.
She usually is dark and brooding, but now she just looks angry on top of that, and you guys can feel that rage kind of push through you, but like in a twisted way. It's just kind of weird. You have to kind of fight it back.
Yeah.
And she kind of leaves the commander and sits in a chair, which immediately shatters under her weight, and then hits the floor. She's like she knew that was supposed to happen, and she forgot, and then she just remains there and doesn't move, still holding on to a long spear.
One of those days, huh? Don't worry, we've all been there. Look, I got just the thing. It's going to like mixing a bowl like quickly. Like she got here probably like 5 minutes too soon. I'm like, I got just the thing. Don't we, Ether?
Yes.
All right, give it to her. Oh, okay.
I'm sure.
Give it to her.
If I was more experienced, I would give a lot of things to her. Anyway. Ooh, here you go, Miss Chosen. Here's your special soup.
Let's see, she's
Want to make you feel bright and cheerful again.
You put it in soup?
Pat her head.
Is that how you're acting?
You know what? You know what? I don't like this Chosen. She seems a bit mean. She seems a bit contrarian, right? Right? And we've done a lot of balance scraping around her, right? And I don't think she'd remember what my name is. She's in a very bad state at the moment. So I can be a bit cheeky to her, and as long as I can run away quicker than she can chase me, I'll be all right.
All right. You know what? Just for this, since you're the cheeky bastard that's doing this, I'm going to have you make a fortune roll.
Yep. I'm about to say. I'm going to have to put another name on this keeper sheet.
I'm going to let you roll 4 dice because you're going to roll it twice. Once will be the first time, and we'll just do it once. We'll roll 4 dice. That'll be for how well this thing works and how quickly. It's still going to be successful because you guys did the mission, right? But it's going to be how quickly it starts to work. And then the second one will be for the corruption of the alchemy that was used today that will spread in amongst those who made it. So.
What? What was that last part?
It's just like it was
alchemy equals corruption.
Yeah,
so
still equals corruption.
How bad it worked.
So I think you should have a fortune roll somewhere on a character sheet.
Yep.
Roll me 4 dice for the first time. So higher.
Oh, what? So just 4 dice.
Yep, just 4 dice.
Okay.
Got a 6. All right.
Hey.
That's good.
Nice.
It's going to work. It's not a critical, but it's going to work well. And she takes the soup roughly from your hands and kind of gives him a little bit of a shove, just a little bit. And Ether he flies back into Zorm's arms, I think. And she just starts to drink the soup, 3 gulps. Gulp, 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 and it's gone. Now this whole process will take its toll between the 2 alchemists who are in control here, or in charge. So roll me 4 more dice. Higher is better. I was just looking that up. So
Yeah.
4.
4.
So that's 2 points.
Could be better.
That's 2 points of corruption and quartermaster. You can distribute them 1 and 1, or 2 to 1 and 0 to the other.
Yeah, no, I will put them 1 and 1.
So it will take its toll. They're the only ones that take the corruption mechanically, so I'm not going to necessarily... Like, Zorm already is kind of mad and crazy. And, so she drinks it, and you can almost immediately see, like the veins, like the poison in her veins doesn't, like, go away, but the color fades from dark black to kind of a weird gray. Almost immediately. Everybody's witnessing. The commander's seeing it. Both alchemists, both mercies. And you guys, those feelings, those weird conditions, also start to lessen almost immediately. And she looks at the alchemists specifically. She looks at everybody. She looks at the alchemists, and she's like, and you think that she's staring daggers at you, like, uh-oh. But then she just looks at you and just like, thank you. And she looks at Zorm, and she's like, you're a better medic than your eccentricness leads to seem. Maybe you should take your skills to the field sometime. And Zorm's an old dude, right? He's like, you should think about it. Commander. That's all she says to you, is she just looks at him and nods.
He just nods back. Holds out a hand if she needs it.
I should be ready by the morning to move, if we're moving.
We are.
She gets up, slowly on her staff, looks at you guys, looks down at all of you, like, good evening. And she starts to, walking stronger, better already, just leaves the tent. She's not very personable.
Yep. The commander watches her leave and turns back to the others. You're a credit to the Legion. I don't care what you were discussing before, because you all suddenly looked very guilty in the face whenever we walked in. Feel free to spread the news that the Chosen is back on the mend, and we will be moving tomorrow. Zorm, amazing as always. And he just, big flap of his half cape out the door.
It's what I do.
I thought you were going to say the Chosen is back on the menu.
Back on the Chosen's back on the menu, boys.
If you can impress her that much. Hey-o.
Hey. Tastes like decay.
Not anymore.
Partial decay. Anyway, I think that's a good scene ending point, unless there was anything else. But that was fun. I didn't know where that was going to go. I've never handed out my Zorm character before, so good
Yeah,
job, Dom.
hopefully I didn't do too much bad to him.
No,
I was trying.
I think that was right. He's eccentric, kind of weird, doesn't always know what's going on, or either that or he just pretends very well to throw people off. I've never quite decided. I can't even read him.
It depends on the time and place.
Yeah.
It depends on what's needed.
It depends.
Zorm is Zorm.
It depends on my version. I've now used him in every single campaign and game that we play in some way.
Yep. Or I make sure I include his name somewhere in mine too.
Yes.
Oh, shoot, I'll have to tell Francesco.
Warzone was going to show up in Aliens if I'd have remembered him but the last scenario didn't have room for him.
Well, the next one, put him in there.
Oh, he's probably going to show up in the next one. It's supposed to be not as intense, but still a good ending to the trilogy.
It will be great. I can't wait. So there we go. Let's move because I got Joster. Let's see. Bandit Thoughts, Nucket and Thomas, Marshall and the Emberwolves, Angry for losing 2 people, maybe, and Zorm and Shreya and the Alchemists. So we got some scenes we can still do. But before we do, good job by the way, everybody. Thank you. That was fun. Let's jump back to. Excuse me. Let's get the camp scenes done with and get all that stuff. We did the back camp scene. So now time is going to pass. The camp packs up, and you guys are going to be heading up to the northeast.
Oh, wait.
We're not doing the spy master things.
We got to do the Quartermaster and the Spy Master stuff first.
I thought the time passes happens.
Time passes happens, but we don't move until after
Oh,
the campaign actions.
I'm just narrating like what's happening because I don't think it really matters in the narration.
It's all happened at the same time, pretty much. But
Just that, and if we go back to the other screen here, I've already moved the symbol, but we were at Barrack Mines, and they are moving north into the Callous Pass. Oh, remember, I do want to have a scene where you guys sit down as a command staff and talk, too, because I think there's going to be some information that comes out here. As you can see, the fire, or at least the symbolic fire, maybe it's real, of the Cinder Kings encroaching on the east has grown, and troop movement has happened. Our pressure is going to be at, well, it's at 1 now, but it's going to be at 2 in a second. And spring is nigh to the end. Probably we're going to be moving into summer, even though you won't notice it as much because you are deep into the mountains now. You thought it was cold before. It is very cold here. I will read the description of that in a minute. But let's do the time passes, Commander, for noting one time.
I already got it on my sheet. I just can't control the clock.
No. So we have 2 pressure, and spring is officially over, isn't it?
Yes, this is the last tick on spring.
So what that means on my side is every time we move to a new season, both of the Brokens gain a new ability. So I actually used Blighter's ability a little early because it fit into the narrative when we did the Halloween episode, and the fog, the poisonous fog that was around that you guys woke up that kind of caused the dream sequences. That was kind of her new thing. It's a poisonous miasma. I brought it in a little early because it fit the narrative, but now it's officially a thing I can throw in to the scenes. And then render, well, I'm not going to say what that is because that's my surprise to give you. So spring passes into summer. Commander, we noted +1 time and pressure. I don't think we roll. Do we roll now?
No. At the very end, right when I move.
Okay. Quartermaster, time to note.
Aye.
-1 food, please.
-1 food. Okay, so we're out of 1 food store. We still have 5 food left.
Not bad for being in the mountain.
Nope.
And the lower keeper would tell a tale of the Legion at this point if there was enough deaths, right?
There's one. We need 1 more death.
Okay.
All right, let's throw someone off a cliff.
Joster almost made that happen.
Thinking about it.
Yeah. Note -1. Okay, so telltale. So part 3, campaign actions. Spend campaign actions based on morale. So this is where the Spy Master can come in. If you can do, whether you do it for yourself, Spy Master, help the Quartermaster, help the Commander. You have your 2 actions, so you can kind of juggle how that's going to work. You guys will talk about it. Quartermaster, I think it's up to you now to figure out. What's that?
Is that 2 actions based on spies?
You would just get 2 actions. I believe. I think. Oh wait. Oh yeah, per spy, right?
Yeah,
You get
yeah,
one per
because I have 3 spies now.
Oh snap! That's right, you do. So yes, you have
That's the-
three. You have 3 actions, sir.
Right. Okay. I have to check that because obviously we've done a lot with the actual soldiers, not a lot with the actual command stuff. So I don't really know what I'm doing. But we'll work it out. We'll get there eventually. It'll be all right.
Yeah, you have 2.
It'll be okay.
You have 2 master spies and 1 trained spy, Bortus.
Yeah. Yes, I
Which
do.
he's good for the expanded networks. So okay, so you.
And he is good for expanding networks. Yeah. So we're going to obviously expand one network.
So you would roll for. You would roll.
For that.
Are you gonna do something?
I
you
don't
wanna
get
do
any
now?
bonus dice.
You just hit the roll by his name, right?
Yeah. And there's no bonus dice, so it's just
So
5.
All right, so the 5 would
Two
be
ticks.
2 ticks plus 1 tick, right? So you get 3 ticks.
3 ticks. He's
Mhm.
halfway done on the expanding of the network.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Are you gonna do
Not
anything
bad.
else, or you want to save them to see what Mike and Commander are doing?
I will save the other 2 to see what Mike and the commander are going to end up doing.
Sorry, Quartermaster and Commander.
That's
Just
the one.
say Mike's name out of character. All right, Mike, I think it's on you, sir.
Mic check.
All right. Let's see. So how many actions do I have? What morale are we at?
8. So we're at high. So.
Okay, so I get 2 actions. How beat up are our people looking right now?
Rough.
Rough. All right. So
Nugget is on like level 3 harms, level 2 harms, and level 1 harms. Just gonna throw that out there for you. Just
let's see.
yeah.
Got a lot of people.
All right.
A lot
So
of
in
wounds.
that case, we're going to do a rest and recuperation, and I'll spend a supply to boost it, so everyone gets 2 ticks to their healing. And then I still have the 2 mercies to throw around if people are still wounded past that, which Nugget probably will be.
Yeah, I think he has to get all 6 checks, like the
Is it top down or bottom up?
wherever you want to put him. But usually this is the marshal's duty. But you can, if he lets you do it, that's fine. It's up to you.
Yeah, for like an individual you just played, yeah. You get 2 ticks to hand out. Now it takes 1 tick to take a level 1 harm, 2 ticks for a level 2.
Yeah.
For a level 3.
Yep. And he's useless until he gets that 3 off of there.
Right. Well, then we'll take the 2 from the 3 then.
On top of that, I believe we said that
Where is
Dorna
Nugget?
was hurt. Or Dorna had
He's a
taken harm or something?
specialist.
Adorna's fixed up now.
Okay.
She
Anyone else?
got level 2 harm last time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
so
the
2
2
ticks
ticks
fixed her.
clears that.
Oh,
right?
duh.
Okay.
Yep.
So
Or
then
does
we're
it
going
downgrade it to a level 1? I'm still trying to learn.
No, it's different than Blades in the Dark. So if she had a level 2 harm, she would have to fill both those boxes, and then it's gone.
Perfect.
So she would
Yeah,
be fine.
It's just erase the injuries in the row. So besides that, do we have anyone else who's horribly hurt besides Nugget?
Joster's healed up.
Is he?
Okay. Prowling Thomas got 2 ticks off of his level 3 harm. He was impaled on a stalactite by Spider Woman.
Technically, the mercies can only help the specialists, I believe.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
just
not
wondering if I need to
Okay.
do a second run at this. Is what I'm saying.
Can you do
No,
that?
I think we're mostly good. 1 more tick should get most of us to where we need to be. And you know what? Nugget has earned a night off, a mission off. So
Okay, I will at least. You know, I will spend 1 mercy to at least clear Nugget's level 3s.
Is that 1 tick or how many ticks is that now?
It's 1 tick for a mercy.
Okay. He is
Leave us
now
3.
cured of being impaled.
He's now cured of being impaled.
He's now
That's the
cured of
best
being
line.
impaled.
you get 2 ticks, right? We have 2 mercies.
I'm only going to use one for right now just
Okay.
because I want the other as backup.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think
In
so.
case we decide towards the end.
So Lucilia, that's probably quite a scream as she suddenly develops a large hole in her chest.
Mm-hmm. Or at least a loud, painful groan as, you know, the mostly patched up hole
That's true.
is transferred to her.
That's true. He did have. It was getting better. So yeah, just a little bit. But yes, ouch. Still
I
ouch.
got better.
She's definitely not having a nice day as she touches Nugget on the forehead and transfers the wound to her, and then goes off back to the tent to cry a little bit.
Yes. Not funny, Lucas. Okay. That's one action and a supply that was boosted to get the maximum amount of healing.
So a 4 supply. Which I mean,
Do we clear any stress? Sorry.
no, I was actually going to ask, do people need a lot of stress cleared?
Probably Joster. Just almost
Joster-
traumatized out last
Joster's
second, yeah.
only halfway stressed. He's got 4 of 8.
4, 8. How much would that do? Liberty clears 3 and increases morale by 2.
And we could take those 2 morale and easily take them both.
Yeah.
That'll get us up to max.
If I boosted, I could clear all, but I only think he's the one. Like, he's one of the few people
Yeah,
that has
no,
stress.
he's the only one who's really bad right now, I believe.
Yeah, so
I
we'll
think,
do a normal Liberty then. Alexander Morris.
so that's
Yeah, it'll
3.
be 3 plus 2 morale for the party. Or the Legion.
Perfect.
3 stress for everybody cleared.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So make sure to check through all the rookies and stuff too.
Sometimes people have special abilities that allow more stress cleared if. Depends on if. It might have to be a soldier or a specialist for that. It might be a soldier thing.
Well, there's a rookie thing too, but that's literally like when you're camping out on the trail back and forth.
Yep.
Because that's what I had Grinning set up to do. Is he's literally the former supply quartermaster for his bandit buddies, so he cooks.
Oh, Mike, I don't know if you saw, but under siege weapons, you guys got a cannon.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
gonna be definitely useful. I'm aiming by the time we get to the Skydagger Keep to have all 3.
All right. Now you have 4 supply. Do you want to? Are you taking any additional
That's what I was
actions?
gonna say. I might take some additional actions here, guys, because let's see, we can keep a max of 3 supply. We could keep all of this because we have a cap of 5 supply with the 2 supply carts. I'm thinking maybe try to acquire an asset for food, and then start a long-term project for siege weapons. What do you guys think?
Sounds good to me. We'll be coming out of the mountains after this next mission phase.
Yeah, so...
You mean we'll be coming round the mountain?
Are we already around the mountains? Now we're in the
That is the name.
humps. Now
No,
we're
you were
coming
right
down.
on, Spy Master. I mean, that is the name of this session, after all. Thank you.
Yeah.
Alright,
You gotta
so,
you gotta make the callback.
That's right. So, let me open up.
yeah, so
Let me get the
see,
location
what is this
open here.
place- Yeah, what is this location's assets rating?
I think it's 0, but I'll find out.
The larger world campaign.
We're at Barrack Mines. Asset rating is 1, actually.
Okay, so that means I have 1 dice for this?
World location.
Okay.
The result indicates the quality, and upgrade it to boost it by the result by 1 level. Afterwards, if you need it.
Yeah. We have 5 supply. We have 5 food right now, so
Food's not bad.
yeah, our food is not bad, and I can always roll again once we get out of Gallows Pass.
Oh, remember, you're rolling as if we're still at Barrack Mines at the moment.
Yeah, true.
Yep. So that's where the assets rating is.
Yeah, Gallows
Yeah,
is.
so, yeah, I know Gallows is worse, so yeah. How long do you think we're gonna stick at Gallows Mines, guys?
As little time as possible
So-
because of food, as far as I'm concerned.
So 1 turn max we're gonna be staying with.
Yeah. The main reason the commander wanted to go up here is because he knew there were special doohickeys up here from the Legion's past.
Okay, in that case then, I'm gonna skip on the food. It might come back to bite us, but we have 5 food right now in a storage. So we have 5 turns worth of food as it stands.
All right.
You that okay with you, Commander?
That's fine. If you
Alright.
feel we can take care of it, we can take care of it.
I feel like we can take care of it. With that, I am going to then instead.
What you doing?
Okay, we have plenty of recruits. In fact, we actually have 2 extra recruits that can be moved up into the Ember Wolves, pulling a bulletproof at 9 lives in Medea.
I think
What?
nothing. I just remember the marshal saying something about letting them stay empty for a bit.
Okay. No, I was just noting that because I do have the option to try and recruit people.
You do.
I could try to get us some soldiers, Marshall, if you want some.
So we have 2 reserves right now, and we have 2 openings in the Ember Wolves. So we could just, I mean, we're at full capacity. Well, not at full capacity, but we're, fully staffed.
Yeah.
How long does it take to complete one of your actions?
For recruiting, it's just I just gain up to 5 rookies for the marshal.
Yeah, we don't need any right now.
If I boost it though, I can get 2 soldiers immediately.
We'll be good for now.
Okay.
We don't need it now.
All right. So in that case,
that said, GM,
okay.
Could you move Paulina in 9 lives to Ember Wolves?
Yep.
All right. So in that case, I'm going to start a long-term project. I'm going to start a long-term project with pick specialist to lead it.
What's that now?
I'm going to start a long-term project for another siege weapon.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to have Adorna lead it.
What stat is she going to be using?
I'm thinking she is going to be using research to figure out what is the best thing to possibly throw at zombies to kill them fastest.
Oh.
Explosives.
Not exactly her strong suit, but she will, if you tell her to do so, she will do it.
Looks like she's got 4 dice in research.
Adorna?
Or what am I? Oh, no, I'm looking at... I'm sorry, I have the dark mode on, so all of those are, like, filled in white.
I was trying the dark mode, too, and I turned it back off because some things were not showing up.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, it's the opposite. I see where it's fooling. So, man, maybe...
Yeah, sorry, let me look at someone else.
She might have to, yeah.
Give me 1 second, sorry about this.
Nope, that's... I was like,
Yeah,
I see that she has 0.
The dark mode going from like light gray to slightly darker gray isn't necessarily
It's
the
the
best.
worst possible setup.
The font is tough to read on like especially on your heritage traits. Like that is wow.
Oh, yeah.
Who signed off on that in your inventory? That person should not have a job. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
You don't go light, like slightly darker gray on darker gray. Like that's just come on.
I can read it perfectly fine, guys. No, yeah, I see it. Like I like the dark mode, and I think I'm going to use it. Depends on which game you're playing and when, but so I like the option. But yep.
So for first one, actually, you know what? I'm going to change it. I was looking in the book, and I do see one recommendation here.
Okay.
Of if you want to try to improve, how Liberty works and how well that heals things, or how that heals stress, building a distillery.
Yeah.
I'm going to attempt to build a distillery on the camp.
Okay. Probably something.
On wheels.
It's probably be on wheels and like a spare wagon or something that you can take with you.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I mean, we've got 2 supply carts and not enough supply to go around.
Well, it'll be an 8 o'clock as always. And
8 o'clock?
Yep, and your laborers obviously can help with this. But who's going to lead the action?
Who is going to lead it indeed?
And I want to know like what stat qualifies them.
I actually have to look through all of our...
It's going to be Joster.
Specialists.
Joster with his channels. Nucket with his maneuver, because he's just throwing stuff in the air, expecting people to catch the parts and put them in. He's like the Flash now, even though he's in heavy armor. His maneuver is a 4. I think that's the first stat. Maybe that's reached a 4. that I've noticed.
You know what? I'm going to use Joster and his channels because, as, an officer, he knows the perfect people to get the right materials from to start brewing stuff.
Oh, yeah.
No one in the camp knows how to brew, so we're going to go through a lot of that stuff.
I understand what you're saying. Okay. Give us a roll, and then... Oh, you have like 2 laborers? Oh, you have 1 laborer. Okay.
Yeah, we got 1 laborer right now, so no bonus dice.
While he rolls that, I will point out Blue Biting Cone was the first one to 4.
Oh, I'm sorry. I knew I was going to be
What
wrong.
is Blue
Terry.
Biting Cone anyway?
Blue Biting Cone is the super old dude, like the really old. I
Nice
don't
work.
even know. Yeah, no, he was in the ambush. He played a part in the ambush.
Yeah, so 6 is 3.
3 ticks.
I'm already spending 1 on this, so if I spend another, I could get it critical, but I won't.
That would be 5 ticks, and then your laborer would make it 6. So
Yeah, so I'm just gonna leave it normal like that.
All right.
And then the second one is I'm gonna start another long-term project because I can't stack dice into or stack actions into one. The second one is going to be attempting to get our spy master another spy.
I'm locked at 3 spies. I can't have
Oh,
any
you
more.
are? Okay, I wasn't sure
Yeah.
if you could.
No, you can only have 3.
Well, I put this up before, and this is something if you want to do. You can start a long-term project. You can't use your laborers, but it will still be 8 ticks, and that would be to gang a specialist. I thought you could make Zorm your new medic if you wanted to get a medic, or you could try to get someone to be your need a scout. So you can make a new specialist. You can recruit a specialist, but you can't use laborers on that. You have to do it the regular rolling.
So my question
Just an
about that
idea.
specifically is
Just an idea.
with obviously with getting a specialist naturally, they would be a rookie with some rookie skills. They'd be a soldier with some soldier skills, and then they'd become a specialist through that.
Yep.
Would they start just as a specialist, 0 XP, and just have to do specialist advances, or would they potentially get maybe 1 or 2
Oh, I see.
rookie, 1 or 2, so on and so forth?
So the Joster had to start that way.
Yeah, they
The
don't.
Joster was a started creation.
They-
Like that was the thing about the beginning of the game. We all created one, and they were just specialists already.
They don't.
And then for the rest of the game, they had to advance the hard way because it's more fun.
They don't, and they don't have those things carry over unless it specifically says. But I am in mind, I might give you like an extra advance to kick them up a little bit, but not a lot, because you kind of got to do the work. But I
Like
might,
1 for each.
yeah, it might be, I might be like, hey, have one extra ability, and like 2 extra XPs in one of your clocks or something,
You know what? I actually have an idea that I want to run past you.
I'm
I
listening.
would like to start a long-term project to start a supply gathering group with the mechanical goal of possibly having a +1 to supply checks in an area.
Oh, so if you are a gang,
Basically, set up a dedicated group of non-Legion members who can help me find supply. Since
Okay.
it's right now, as far as I really run it, it's just Alexander.
I feel like it might either be if it's like a supply mission, and you get whenever you get a reward of supply, you get like +1 supply, or if you acquire assets. Oh yeah, acquire an asset doesn't give you supply. So yeah, I would say it probably would be something that would anytime you gain supply as a reward, you get an additional +1 supply.
Okay, I'm down for that. I will write down
Okay.
supply squad, and it's an 8 tick.
Yes.
Right, I can't use the laborers on it, so I'm gonna tick the distillery
One more.
with laborers to have 4,
Okay.
and with supply squad, I am going to use.
So you're gonna spend another supply right now to make a roll check on here. Okay. Ooh.
Yep. And that's the last action I'm doing because that'll still keep us at 2 supply. We have a good little
No.
balance of stuff.
Do you need the spy master to help you with this roll if that's possible? Is there anything he can do?
Spy Master can always help. I'm always willing to have help from the Spy Master.
Well, he said he was waiting to see if you guys needed him for anything, so I'm not sure if he can
I was hoping to maybe wait for the commanders meeting and then see, hey, what you guys really need done. Like, do you need,
He can add
interrogations, blackmails? What you need?
he can add +1 die to a long-term project roll as one of his actions,
Yeah, the help one.
or +1 to acquire
You know what?
asset.
I think we'll be fine for right now.
Okay.
Save your actions to help the commander.
Yeah, I mean, I, Fascist Foxwell, I'm always happy to help a fellow brother in need. But the issue is, I only have so many spies. My finely dressed friend. So, what is it that you can do to maybe assist me in, my job? Perhaps, quartermaster, very important job, one that may, get overlooked occasionally. Spy master, very important job, something that may get overlooked a fair bit. We're one and the same, birds
Alright.
of a feather, so to speak. So what
Alright,
can
so-
you give me that I can give you?
I have a feeling you have something in mind already. So, what are you looking for? I'll see if I can grab it.
I actually genuinely didn't have anything. I was looking to see what you might offer. I'd be like, yes, this is all going to plan. But you see, we have a lot of recruits currently in waiting. They're not quite in, squads yet. And I mean, I'm sure you'll agree, when we're losing the manpower and they're just sat around, they're twiddling their thumbs, they're doing jack diddly fuck all, right? And I have some fairly well-trained spies of my own to do spy things, but you know what we don't have? We don't have people looking out for the needs and the important, things on the inside of the camp. And I've met some of our officers, some of the wee officers right in the command tent. Between you and me, he sort of leans in. But they're a bit prickly, they're a bit prickly, and currently we're okay. But how long do you think that's going to last? So, maybe you send some of the recruits on secondment my way, and we can try and work something out. Does that sound agreeable to you, my finely feathered friend?
I think that does sound fair for those who are sitting around the camp to help the spy master.
He's essentially he's trying to do what he was trying to do last free RP session. We spoke to the recruits that never went out on a mission and tried to hype them up and sort of get them to do like his dirty work for him in the camp. And then the marshal sent them on a mission and they all died. So it's like, fuck. Fucker. This is why we don't talk to people about this. So he's now trying to steal some of the recruits that aren't being used to essentially become like secret police.
You know what? How about instead of the supply squad then, we set up kind of like we update our training area in the camp. We get our these guys are sitting around the camp doing all of this stuff. We can get these people just sitting back at home training and working on themselves, and then you can abduct them to use them for your stuff, say under the guise of training.
I mean, I would never do something so malicious, quartermaster friend whose name I have already forgotten, Mr. Morrison. Right? I would never do something so cruel, so untoward. In fact, you would accuse me of such things. But say I do decide to do such a thing. I think we come to a agreement. I help you, you help me, we all help each other. I think it's a good idea, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you know what? I think mechanically, instead of the supply squad for getting extra supply whenever we get supply, how do you think of something similar to we get something like a training area back at camp? You can just have select a squad and they gain like 1 XP, something like that.
Maybe per camp, maybe like per rotation.
Yeah, basically you can choose one squad. That squad gets 1 XP for training back at base and being totally abducted by the spy master to do shady stuff.
I like it.
All right, so I will training / spy.
Look at user come in and just. I love it.
I would like to mention, just as like a side point for the quartermaster specifically, you were there in the tent when you first met the spy master. Very shy, very timid, very sort of not very unassuming. The guy now, like night and day, like the other side of a coin, very sure of himself, very sort of conniving, very spy mastering. But Mr. Morrison, I think it would be very agreeable if, between you and I, the commander and the marshal, they don't need to know about this, right? It stays between you and me, yeah?
It stays between us until they ask about it, and if we don't tell them about it, then they can never ask about it.
You see, are you sure you weren't in the intelligence business, Mr. Morrison? Because I see a bright future for you should quartermastering ever fail. He's sort of like using his sort of like riding crop. He sort of goes over and gently taps the quartermaster on the nose with the flappy bit on the end. He's like, maybe one day, should quartermastering ever fail you, you let me know. You let me know.
If we don't all die by this, I might take you up on the offer.
It's a good life if you can survive it.
But and we'll be having Corporal Bellig leading this with Marshall.
Alrighty.
Organize this since it's training and stuff, and I tell them that if the if the spy master comes by and asks for a squad, don't ask questions. He just needs them. This is, and I.
Jawohl, Captain.
And I have a forged signature from the commander for it.
Okay. Forged from the spy master to you to go back to the spy master. Give me a roll.
Yep. So, Marshall.
Is there a way to help him do this?
Yeah, this is where you can give an extra.
Spy.
Yeah, one of your actions can give him an extra die to roll.
Right. Okay. You know what?
Here it comes.
What would be the benefit of using a master spy to do this instead of just like a normal spy?
I don't know.
Master spy gives you 2 dice instead of 1.
Okay. But then in that case, we are going to use our sexy master spy to assist you. They're going to use their big bosoms to shake in front of their faces.
Let's just, it says spy, bribes, or threatens is needed. Add +1 die to long-term project roll. It doesn't say you get 2 because you use the master spy. I think you just
That's the ability of the master spy is he rolls 2 instead of 1 dice.
Yeah.
All right.
Like if you click regular spy, you get 1 die.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fine. Add 2 more, Mike.
Let's see. What do we got?
Ooh.
4.
Could have been better.
So it could have been better.
But it could have been so much worse.
Sure. Yes.
It could actually would have been 1. This would be 2 ticks instead of 1. So I guess really the spy helps out.
Yep. So it'll be 2 instead of 1. And yeah, that's my last action because I'm sitting on 2 supply. If the commander needs me to do something after this, we can figure that out. But I pass it off to the commander.
All right, so spy has 1 move left. The quartermaster would update status of any alchemist, laborers, or mercies. And then the spy dispatches spies here. So, but he's saving it to see what the commander might need. Probably an intel question, I'm assuming, is what it's going to be. I think that's what he helps you with, right? And then, commander, are we advancing? We are, which we've already decided. And you guys hit Kalos Pass. Quartermaster, your options spend horses to reduce pressure. Pressure is at 2.
Commander, you think we need it?
No. Right now we're still rolling 1 die. So.
Yeah.
No, you're.
I mean, we have 4 uses of horses. Just
your pressure is at 2, so it'd be 2 dice.
No, 1 to 3 is 1 die.
Oh, for pressure with 1 to 3 is still on the 1 die? Oh, okay. I don't know. We've never
Oh,
had.
no. You're right. You're right. It's 2 dice,
Yeah.
but we're in the first of this new season, so unless I roll a crit, we're okay. I don't roll high, so I don't really expect to do well.
Yeah. So this is the one roll in the game you pretty much want to roll low on.
This is the one I usually don't bomb, but I don't ever crit on anything in this game.
All right. So you tell me.
6, 6, 6, 6, 6.
Now you,
Right.
you want to roll ones here. So 2 dice are being rolled to see how long it takes you to travel up the mountains. You rolled well.
That's good.
So that's what, 1 tick a time?
And time below 1 to 3 is 1.
Shoot, spring's
Yep, so
over.
Yeah.
Yep.
So pressure goes back to
0.
0, and we have 1 tick into the summer clock. So because of the mission penalty for the +1 pressure. No, it wasn't. Okay, so yeah, travel up to the mountains. It took a little bit. It took a little bit of time. It goes from spring to summer, and you don't really notice it because you're gone a long time.
In the months. We're in the mountains too, so
Yep.
it only changes slightly.
All right, I will give you some location. This is Gallows Pass. I'll give you a little narration, kind of set the scene of where you're at, and then I think it comes to the mission rolling phase and or other free speed scenes, which we'll do before we end today. So let me make sure we are here. So yes, and like I said before, every time we switch to a new season, the Broken each gain a new ability. So Render and Blader both become more powerful. So this narrow mountain route has been worn into the rock from thousands of pilgrims making their way through this awe-inspiring territory. Some sections of the path have small alcoves for the dead carved into the rock. Huge statues are carved partially into the mountainside, many half sunk into the ground over time. Their origins are disputed. Some claim them predate the Old Empire, while others speculate they were erected during one dynasty or another. Much of the path is below tree line, and gray, leafless trees weather the winds that cut through the mountains and canyons, stirring many ropes hung from their branches. Once pilgrims would hang offerings from them, but the cold, howling winds and the bare rock and tree cast them in a different light, one that's given the pass its name, which is Gallows Pass. The weather on the path is fickle, and avalanches, inclement weather, and the occasional disappearance or overgrowth of the path itself makes it hard to traverse. Numerous folks in the path lead towards shrines, sacred springs, caves, and the like. Many such sites can be found here for those hardy enough to reach them. Even now, pilgrims can be found traversing this isolated path. So you see people, little groups here and there, sometimes a solo person. Though these days, few and far between. Besides travelers, there are a few other people who live in this area. The occasional reclusive, ascetic, shrine attendant, or goat herd. The area is too barren and requires resources to be brought in from the outside. So, there is no peak-to-peak path all the way to Skydagger. You have to return back to the lower elevations after this point and go through the Talgon Forest in order to get to Skydagger Keep. So the scenes you see are a solitary blind traveler tapping with a crooked staff along the mountainside, a stampede of goats fleeing an unseen undead presence, stark broken statues towering impossibly high in the distance, giant rock carvings telling of tales of an ancient Aldermark, which is where you're at, the notes of wood and bone wind chimes hung by previous travelers, a large shrine to the gods now empty of people, but clearly maintained in the summer months. So maybe people are going to be coming back at this point. The grim and somber fields of trees, a rope hanging from each one. So the challenges you face here are avalanches, crumbling cliffside paths covered in ice, ambushes by undead scouts, dangerous, huge, high-peaked snakes which descend to hunt. You've seen a few in the distance. Luckily, the Legion is impressive enough to deter most creatures like that. Thick mountain mist obscuring more than a few feet of visibility. The exhaustion of fighting uneven terrain, high altitude, and inclement weather for miles. Commander, just so you know, when you advance from here, as a special rule, there will be an additional +1 time added, regardless of what you roll. So there's no clear path. A lot of bridges are out, so you're gonna have to really work your way around. And anybody not wearing winter clothing when you go out on missions could suffer frostbite. Welcome to Gallows Pass, where the acid rating is 0, and your mission types are assault, recon, and religious. There are no supply missions here.
What do y'all think about an assault mission this time around?
I mean,
Really stick it to them.
we would finally get to try out our new artillery.
Yeah, we got a cannon. We can shoot that. It's
Mhm.
like a gun, but bigger. And shooting.
It's not as cool as a trebuchet, though.
It's not as cool as a trebuchet. A cannon
Yeah.
is not as cool as a trebuchet.
It's not.
That's an argument.
It's not. It's factually. It's factually backed up.
It's like vinyl versus a CD. You know, a CD can technically hold more, it plays with less problems, but the vinyl, it has that je ne sais quoi.
That vinyl sound.
That too.
Also, you can't scratch fat beats on on a CD.
You never listened
Just
to my
once.
Walkman
You can just
when
do
I
it
was
once.
growing up.
Also, flaming ballista bolts are easier to make than flaming cannonballs.
Yeah. On top of that, can your catapult fire a 90-kilogram projectile over 300 meters? I don't think so.
I think my cannon could though.
No, but the trebuchet can,
Yeah, the trebuchet can. There we go.
and that's essentially just a better catapult.
I thought we were
no
talking cannons.
So
We were talking cannons, right?
I asked the commander ahead of time what his focus was going to be, and he said religious. I think. Right.
I was going to argue that religious might be the better choice.
It's probably the better choice.
So I rolled. He has also one intel. I did these ahead of time. So you guys are in your command tent now, as your command staff characters, coming up with stuff. Commander, did you still want to spend an intel to have a special mission?
Yes, I did.
All right. I rolled 3 missions, so there'll be a primary, a secondary, and an auto fail. And I will tell them to you, kind of in order here. So, Spy Master Foxwell, your spies come back to tell you. A lot of the scouts will come back in general, but a lot of them work for you. So I don't know. Are you the kind of guy that when it's time to make missions, you still want them to filter through you, or do you have them come into the meeting and report what they found for everybody to hear at the first? What do you think there, Foxwell?
Oh, sorry.
That's
Sorry.
you.
You're talking to me. I thought you were talking to somebody else.
No,
Sorry.
the other spy master.
No, I'm an idiot. Most likely, he would like to have them report to him first, rather than just coming and tell everyone. As proven previously by the fact that he doesn't want the actual military leaders to know about the new developments. Probably not going to want them to also know about all the scouting reports previously, should it be important for his plans.
Alrighty. Well, 2 of the missions are going to come from outside as people come into your tent. But I'll tell you about the special mission first, because it's most likely we're going to go with that. Although one of the other ones I really like, but I'm just not going to say. I'm going to let you guys choose. So, Spy Master Foxwell. What do I tell you? What do I... Okay. We'll try it this way and see if it works. Otherwise, I'll just narrate it out to you guys. There we go.
No one is like a star, no one is like a star, no one's on page 206 like a star.
Okay, I sent you a message. Why don't you read that, and I'll do the other ones
Yeah.
first, okay? So, Shreya comes... You guys are having you're trying to put your stuff together, right? Shreya opens the tent suddenly and escorts in 2 people. You can see a whole entourage is waiting outside. So she comes in, she's like, Commander, permission to come in?
Of course. You're always welcome at my table.
So she lets in a couple Bartons, a man and a woman. The man is dressed pretty finely. It looks like he's definitely a noble. But he has a lot of religious trinkets and stuff about him. To a shriek, I believe a shrika, because that's what the mercies work for, a shrika. And you can tell that the woman that's with him is a mercy. She goes, "They've come upon our camp. They saw that the Legion was here, as they are making their pilgrimage, and they wish to ask for your assistance. I said I would escort you in and let you have 5 minutes, or let them have 5 minutes of your time, if that pleaseth you."
Of course.
And so the man steps forward. He's like, "Commander, my name is Mankit Menabur." He goes, my entourage and I were making a pilgrimage. A pilgrimage to a shrine. And although we don't want to ask too much of your time, we are requesting, in trade, of course, for a group of yours to lead us to this shrine. It's high and deep into the mountains, and we're just afraid of what's going to befall us on the way. We simply need an escort. We don't need it to return because we're not sure how long we'll stay there. We might even just stay. We don't know. As the summer grows on, we might leave, but we're looking for some Legionnaires to guide us there safely. He goes, in return, and he has this scroll case. He goes, what I have inside here are blueprints for the ancient work of transmutation. I know, and he looks at Shrael out of the corner of his eye. He's like, I know that involves alchemy, but it would help you produce weapons and armor quicker and finer. Because I'd be willing to trade this secret of mine from my noble family's history, if you were to give us an escort. So that reward is a fine asset. Blueprints for a long-term project to basically give all the rookies and soldiers, I would let them have fine weapons and armor, which would up their threat. So that'd be pretty powerful. The penalty is +1 pressure. And he goes, unfortunately, not all of us are going to go in my entourage. And he kind of looks at the Mercy, and he steps back. Like he doesn't like it, but he's resigned. And the Mercy steps forward. She goes, hi. She goes, hello, my name is Arun Pakshi. And you can also tell she's a Barton. Mercy, right? She goes, I came with him, but I am separated. And there is... And I think Shreya's like, I didn't feel it, but I believe you. So she's like, there are several shrines to Shrika and other gods. And they, of late, I've been hearing word, and I felt it as I came close to one. They are being corrupted and tainted. And I'm not sure what it's about. See, it's a set of stones, set up like 8, 9, or 10 stones around. And I know there's a shrine nearby that's been corrupted. Whatever's there is probably already left, but what I'm hoping to do is cleanse it. I was hoping that I could get some Legionnaires, some reliquaries to go with. I would travel with, and we could cleanse this shrine, purge the evil that's there. And even if no one goes there to pilgrimage, hopefully weaken the evils there that is there. It's not the thing I'm good at, but I can feel its presence as Shrika is giving me this feeling, and I feel like I must go there. I'll go alone if I have to, but I want to ask for your assistance. So the rewards here are an exceptional asset, which is a Mercy. You keep her. And favor for your... actually, you get favor for both of these. So you get favor for both these religious missions. They're both religious missions, escort and cleansing. You get the blueprints and favor for the one, the Mercy and favor for this one. And the penalty is +1 pressure. So it's weird how I rolled them. They all came out the same. I can copy paste them if I need to. And then there's a spy that's been whispering in Foxwell's ear this whole time. And I can give more detail after I let him roleplay that in there. So Shrael nods, the two step out. Master Ether comes in. He's like, wait. I wanted to add something to that. I've been listening. I'm sorry. He goes, Commander, may I speak real quick?
Go ahead.
Do you know when I've heard about this. I wasn't with you yet, but it's something to do with when you got the heavy. The Yox that was pilgrimaging me alone was trapped. And you let something out. Something dark.
Aye.
The one that attacked Belig. And then my horse master and my 2 assistants, when we were in the village and you saved me, they had, they call it the Shade. Remember the Shade? And was making replicas of the people, but they weren't really real. He goes, from what she was saying, I think this shrine she's talking about is the same entity. I don't know if that's something we need to deal with sooner or later, but my guess is it's encroaching on these shrines and twisting their abilities and possibly making itself stronger. I don't know. But I wanted to put my 2 cents in what I'm thinking with my thoughts that I put together. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am, and I wanted you to know.
Very well. Thank you for your input. Excuse us.
Foxwell?
Sorry.
Well, I don't have to go next. I just want to make sure that we don't miss the other mission.
No. I'm good. So I mean, obviously, this is all very good, brave options, and you'd be fools not to take them up. However, I personally have procured some very interesting news for us as a group. Teamwork. Am I right, lads? Of course I am. I always am. Right. So my good friend here, whose name it doesn't matter, has said that there are undead climbing a cluster of giant statues, and they're making their way towards the head of the largest. I personally would like to recommend, of course, under the marshal and the commander's expert guidance and what may be required for a mission of this magnitude or importance, that maybe we should send a scouting group, or maybe a couple of people over, have a look, see what's happening, maybe.
It is a recon mission. I forgot to put that in there.
It could be assumed.
It's true. This is +1 intel, +1 favor, style favor, and a relic.
You post these in the Discord just so I can see them.
I will. Penalties are
Very audio.
the penalties are +1 time, +1 pressure. I will. Yes. Do you want all the information?
Just 3 missions is fine. Yeah, but I mean, the extraneous, the consequences and boons of each would be great. Because I also have to name them.
Yep. Oh, you guys can talk. Don't let me stop you.
Well, Commander is leaning forward.
Actually, Marshal, when you're next free, could I have a word with you in private, sort of away from the hemming and hawing, if that's not too much of a issue, of course.
Rashi will look around for a moment, like scan over everybody, and he'll look back and he'll go, "What could you possibly tell me? That's
I mean,
of course.
telling
If
you
it's
things tends to be my job, Marshal. So
another member of the command staff will always have my ear. Let's go.
Yes.
Next room over. Or should we say tent?
I mean, tents do have rooms. Yes. Anyway, are we free to, plot in private?
Yeah, you guys leave. That's fine. He's just going to pick without you then.
What could this possibly be about?
So, you seem like a brave, honourable, heroic man, right?
That's
it's like-
always what people say before they ask me for something that they have no bearing asking me for. So, tell me, what do you need?
I don't wish to ask you for anything. I instead wish to help you. I can't help but notice that for a troop that has been that face.
Yeah, that's not...
How dare you? All right. So for a troop that's been so famed for their bravery and their honor and their, martial prowess, I cannot help but notice that there's been a lot of, particularly for this set, lots of religious things. And, obviously, combat is the best way to show these ragamuffins what for. Now, the commander seems like a fair lad, and I'm not looking to depose him, make that known. I'm not looking to do anything like that. But don't you think that maybe giving the undead what for in a place where we are supposed to be dominant, this is a religious landmark, no doubt. Do you not believe that maybe we should be kicking back? And fortunately for you, I have some skill in finding missions and sort of opportunities and brave charges for your lovely lads to go on. The issue is, of course, that I have to give up one of my brave spies. The quartermaster may not be very happy, and the commander may not be very happy. Okay. So what I'm mostly asking you is, I scratch your back, and maybe you scratch mine at some point.
Let me get this straight. We, as a legion, are on full retreat back into the mountains after being ambushed in our own camp. And during this retreat, your suggestion is to sacrifice legion lives just for the prospect of leading some sort of counteroffensive. Am I understanding this correctly?
I wouldn't phrase it exactly.
Of course
like
you wouldn't,
that.
but I
would phrase like that. What I would say is that you're getting the wrong end of the stick, my brave martial man.
I am the marshal. I get whatever end of the stick comes my way. I don't get to choose.
Then you may not have chosen to get the wrong end of the stick, and that's maybe I haven't worded this correctly, but what I'm trying to get across to you is that I can maybe line up some prospects for you. Intelligence is very important in the art of warfare, I have been told, and maybe sometime down the line you may wish to really push forward and kick those undead undesirables up the backside, and maybe you can help me and I help you. I'm doing a lot of alliteration in this one.
And I'll step forward and place a hand on your shoulder, and I'll go, it wasn't long ago when I too was in the business of, shall we say, information. It's a powerful business. You can push people to do what you want, not necessarily what they want. You can blend the two. But let's be honest here. Our men are haggard. I know we cut them slack when we can. We crack open a couple of extra kegs. We give them an extra day of time. But they see the writing on the wall. We've done nothing but run since the moment we crossed that bridge and down south. If we could strike back, and strike back hard, the men would have something to fight for.
They would.
And I'll look left and I'll look right. If a sacrifice need be made, if a martyr need be named, and so be it. The men need something to fight for. And a broken mercy and tattered specialists are not such thing. They need something more. Hope. Do you really think this might work?
I think whatever I'm paid to think, sir.
You literally
But-
couldn't have given me a worse response.
No. Right. That was me stealing the time out of character because I didn't quite know what to say at that. I'm paid to think whatever I think whatever I'm paid to think.
Yeah, you're like literally
Great
paid to be
response.
my spy master, but you're telling my marshal that you want to rebel against me and turn
No,
the Legion
right.
into
What
a
I'm
death
saying
force,
is,
and then you say
right,
I do whatever I'm paid to do.
Right,
Yeah, it's definitely
right.
not at all.
what
at
I'm
odds.
saying, our character is right. He wants to go on assault missions, right? And I've already got the quartermaster in sort of in with me, in good with me. I've got something out of him. If I can get something out of the marshal, I can then move up to the commander and be like, "Hey, commander, I heard some whispering from the marshal, and the marshal said he'd do this. I work for you, but no,
Sounds
Anyway.
like Spy Master to me. Man.
don't trust the spy master. Don't trust whatever, especially if they're
Andrew,
British."
Well-
I have some future problems for you.
No,
Yeah.
This is
you
what makes
tell
it. This is what makes it good.
Anyway,
This
but,
mission.
This mission, yes.
What are we targeting?
The one that I found, well, of course, this is
recon.
more of a discussion for everyone, but I'm more coming to you to say, should you wish for, martyrs to be made, then, you come let me know. I have to give up one of the spies to do so, and that limits me on what I can do. So, of course, I may require something in return, which may be decided at a later date.
You'll get paid. You always will. Here's
Money
what I
means
want.
nothing when the towns you can spend it in are going to burn in a couple of days.
You wouldn't still be scheming if money meant nothing.
Scheming, sir. I words are hard to say. I'm just so angry. If we were not in a war footing, sir, why I would have you whipped and probably not do that. But I think we've been out for too long. Just you let me know, and you give what you may wish to give for such missions to arrive on the board. What ho, sir?
Look, and I'll lean in close, making sure nobody else is hearing this. Look left.
Well, you guys are
look
by
right.
yourselves. So.
Yeah, of course. But I'm triple checking. Now, whisper, and I'll go. Whatever mission you have in mind, whatever it is you come upon, no matter the danger, no matter the consequence. I have received word from below, trusted word. We have 5 eager recruits to take on any sort of, I don't use this word lightly, a suicide mission you might need. Have you ever heard the phrase addition through subtraction, my friend?
Sure.
That means no.
I'm starting to think you aren't.
So I think I'm not the what, sir?
Report back to me with what you have in store. And I'll see to it that the proper motions are made. Do we have an understanding? Like we said, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. Later, but it will be scratched.
You know what, my manly marshal? I think we may find ourselves coming to a agreeable partnership one of these days. I'm sure you will agree. Although I think it may be an idea for us to return to the meeting, as to such not be foisted over should the missions come up squat.
In emerging back into the tent, I'll be laughing huh, and that's what I said. That's not my wife. That's a barrel. And I slap.
That's not my wife. That's the goat.
No, I said it's the. I turned right back.
Commander's just sitting there, he's swirling.
I think, Commander, you actually have a strategist that's there, or one of your many people that go over the board in the pawns with you, right?
Yep.
So some new information's come up, and he's just so as you can see, very well done, by the way, guys. I Done. That was a great scene. So he's moving pawns, and he's like, I got Blighter pegged, entering Dresh Forest. We should, if all things work correctly, we should be able to get into the Talgon Forest before she reaches that far east. But we haven't heard from Render in what, 3 months? 4 months?
Render took a different path so far away that we don't have spies.
Well, that's what I'm here to tell you, sir. And then this is where we're showing it on the map now. He looks like he went south of the mountains, over
Through the lake.
Yeah, it's hard to see because, of course, I put the fire there. But if I
If I move there's 2 cities there though. So that's like through the lakes.
there's like a giant crevasse or like gulch. So he went south of the mountains,
and then up,
and then somehow over that gulch. But then to east and then up. He goes. What I just got word of is both West Lake and East Lake are on fire, quite literally at this point. He's moved in and he's decimated, and the people there, of course, thought they could hold in. But as far as I know, he's gotten all of their reserves. He's driven the people out if he's not killed them, so he's making more undead. He's armoring up his foes, and he's just come out of nowhere. Like, we thought he was basically out of this war, and now he's back. So he's heading straight north, while Blighter, yeah, probably towards Fort Callisto, while Blighter is moving in from the east. Sir.
So we'll be hard pressed to clear Fort Callisto and make our way to Skydagger.
Mm-hmm.
I knew the time of peace would be short for us. I just didn't realize it would be literally the moment we step out of the mountains.
Yeah. Yes, sir. So this is where it comes back to all of you, and we can, at least for the session, we don't have too much more time, but we can figure out what will be our primary, our secondary, and the one that will auto fail. We'll get the names of the missions. This has been an awesome episode, by the way. And we'll be ready to rock on that said mission next time. Now, I know I was thinking about an assault mission. I don't think you guys have ever done one, so I think we'll have to see one in the future. But for now, we have a special recon, and 2 religious.
So yeah, when they both walk in, they hear that. As soon as they start ready to sit down, the commander just go ahead and remove, let the weird circle of friends there know that we won't be able to help them. Marshal, we're going to be helping the Mercy as a secondary objective, and we'll move on this recon and see what the undead are ahead of us after. If it was something important enough for them to pass us and ignore us to get to it, I'd like us to make sure we deny it to them.
Ignore us. Ignore us. Nobody would ignore us. They simply underestimate us. Which, Commander, I don't mean to disrespect, but puts us at an advantage.
On an unrelated note, sorry to interrupt you, my manly marshal. Do we know where the other blighted is?
Oh, Blighter?
Commander.
He's so far. I've heard he's so far out. The spies don't even hear his name. Nothing to worry about.
Would you like to know where he is? Would that be something you lads would be interested in?
Wait, no, you said Blighter, not Render. You said Blighter, not Render?
The one that is missing, essentially.
Yeah, Render.
Yeah.
Render was missing, but we know where he is now.
Okay.
We just he moved so far that even our fastest scout would not make it through all of the distance to get back to us with that info.
Well,
He'd probably be picked off by the
any
blighter
case.
to get there.
He's probably even past that point now. It's just taking so long for that news to come. Sorry to me.
Since we're probably going to end up going on to like mission phase next round, and I sort of can't carry my spies over, I'm going to use the final one for the interrogate. Ask the commander for intel questions list. Your spy is sent on a mission and can answer 1 question from any list, regardless of commander's intel total, whenever missions are presented by the GM.
So you'll have 1 question off the 0 to 2 or whatever it is, and then 1 question from anywhere, which you don't have to. Probably good to know ahead of time. You can ask it next time if you want to. So you have 1 on the 0 or more.
Just do that.
What's that?
I'm just gonna put that down as commander's questions at start.
Yep. So you'll have 2 questions to ask next time. So
A level
Let me recap. So I need names from Dom at some point once he has them. You don't have to be right now.
I don't think I'll get him tonight, but
That's fine. So let me be clear then. The special recon with the statue and the undead making their way up there is going to be the primary. The secondary is going to be the cleansing where you help the mercy.
Correct.
And then the auto fail is going to be the one where the guy wants to escort.
Actually, let me swap that. Let me swap that because the idea of possible weapons for the rookies is actually better because we already have 2 mercies. Let me swap that. Let's swap that.
I know Mike could probably. Mike likes both of those rewards. I'm not.
Yeah, but
I'll be honest.
You guys can talk about it.
What was the rewards for the recon again?
It's a relic, a favor, and more intel.
A relic,
yeah, so
favor,
that
and more
levels
intel.
up Shreya. So we probably want that.
There's actually
Well,
favor
all three
on
of them are gonna.
all 3
Favor all of
missions
them.
have favor, so she might get a level up and an extra one.
Shoot.
Yeah.
I missed those.
I'll
But
be
the
honest.
intel and what's a relic?
Could be anything.
Like
Oh,
the banner you have is a relic.
Oh, so like major items.
Mm-hmm.
Now
Yeah,
we have 2 mercies and 2
Alchemist.
alchemists.
alchemists, which are both the exceptional assets.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, yeah, mission 3 should be the failure. I think automatically.
Good. Commander makes the
You
final
want the-
decision, but you guys
You
can
want the
all talk
recon
about
to
it.
be the automatic failure?
The recon we
Now,
lose. a relic,
recon's
but-
penalties are worse,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That was the 3rd one given to us. That's
Yeah.
worse.
and
Yeah.
the rewards are better. And let's be real, quartermaster. I always roll 6s on the secondary missions, so you don't have anything to worry about.
So you guys are wanting the exceptional assets for instead of getting better weapons for all the rookies?
Oh no. I as quartermaster was actually about to suggest. Like I wanted to put forward almost those 2 are probably the most pressing.
Which-
Because an extra mercy means we have 3 free ticks to remove off any wounded. And we also, in every single recruit and soldier gets fine weapons.
Well, those are 2 separate rewards for both missions. One mission
Yeah,
has
that's 2
that.
separate. That's what I'm saying. Is those 2 ones I feel like have the strongest reward. The other one, which be relic, could have a pretty amazing reward, but it's we don't know what we're getting. Is the question. Is the big
I
thing.
can see that. You know what? Yeah, let's. Yep. You make sense. I'm going to list as skipped the recon.
Oh,
spent
I
money
didn't
for it.
expect that.
Wait, skip it? Like outright?
Yep.
Like we don't even secondary yet.
Well, we're going to secondary one of the 2.
I
Yes,
feel
We secondary the recon. It's got worse consequences and it's got better rewards.
what are the consequences again? Sorry.
It's consequences +1 time, +1 pressure,
Pressure.
which is
Everything
only
has
an
+1
extra
pressure.
time on top
That's
of the
one
other.
extra time.
We're going to have no minimum of 1 extra time coming out of this location anyway.
Yeah, like the extra time, I don't feel like is really a problem because we're planning to leave this place almost immediately.
We haven't had intel since like our 2nd mission.
Unfortunately,
This is.
but
you have
at the
intel
same
now.
time, yeah, we do have.
And
the
we can
Spy
have
Master who's
more!
hunting intel.
You have 0 intel because the commander spent the 1 he had to get the special mission.
Yeah, so
It-
we get that
it's-
intel back and at least break even. I say at least the special needs to be a secondary. We can't leave that on the table. A whole
I would
relic?
agree.
Tentari Banner was 5 free prestige or morale, excuse me. 5 morale. That's amazing.
I would agree with the marshal on this. As much as we may not know what we're gonna get something, and it's gonna be great. As opposed to what?
An
The other
extra
one
mercy?
is
Come
An
on,
extra
man.
mercy.
Yeah, extra mercy. Like,
So
Yeah,
we're
it's
going to reverse
great.
it back to where we're primary recon, secondary pilgrims.
I'm fine with primary being the escort, the religious, and secondary being the recon. Because, like I
Okay.
said, I'm going to roll a 6, and we're not going
Alright.
to have anything to worry about.
Hey.
Yeah, the only reason I brought that up is because an extra mercy means that if we have 3 mercies sitting around, that is 1 specialist who completely
Loses a level 3.
deals a level 3 harm, which
Yeah.
is absolutely amazing. So that means we can get a level 3 and a level 2
Yeah.
completely.
The only thinking about it now though, we can still get one with a good asset roll or a long-term clock though. We can't get a relic that way.
Yeah,
And
that's a fair point.
and we've
Fair.
used a mercy a grand total of once so far. We've only ever used a mercy
I've used her
once.
almost.
We've used her every
like,
other round.
Yeah,
We just got
used
the
her every
second
other
one
round.
recently. So
Like,
they've
almost
been
every time
useful,
that we
but
have
they've
looted, I've used
never
her.
they've never outright saved anybody. But it's been a asset. It's an asset. It's good, but I think once we get out of the mountains, we could get one on a good roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fine with
We
that.
have two more. Well, actually, we have two more chances to get anything like that. And I believe the last two spots, there's no more asset because you're kind of done. You're at the end,
You
just
talking about-
racing to the last piece.
Yeah.
But I will say that we do need the fine weapons for all of our soldiers and recruits because that is
Yeah.
absolutely amazing.
Yep.
Because that
So,
bumps
yep,
up their
okay.
threat
I mean,
So I'm
rate.
given
gonna
that-
swap it then.
We know that he's always going to roll like a 6. Why not put the second mission, the one that gives us the special weapons as the sort of
Yeah.
secondary, and then put the recon as the primary, because the relic, we can't get relics otherwise, so we actually play that one out to ensure that it goes well, and then we're going to get the 6 for the the special weapon one anyway. So
Yeah, I like
I
that
mean-
idea because plus everybody's itching for some combat. Hence, out of character, you guys are wanting your characters to have some combat. So that makes more sense because there's going to be some combat no matter what. But this one it's a recon mission. But if you're going to try to stop undead from getting something, there's only two ways to do it:
Might as well be
blow
it
them up,
might as
blow
well-
the item up, or fight the undead.
It's kind of a recon assault.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might as well be an assault in all but name.
So yeah, okay. Well,
what's
so
our-
we swap that back.
what's our-
Primary recon,
Okay.
secondary the group to the shrine.
Okay. And the
And
mercy will,
skip the mercy.
Mercy Arun Pakshi will be traveling on her own to the shrine.
Unfortunately.
Let's hope that the undead can't turn mercies into anything horrible.
Oh, that's a good idea. I love that. Mike's like, what?
You're welcome.
You know what?
Mercy.
That might have been the best back and forth, possibly over what missions to do that we've had so far. Like that was a really good discussion. That was just good to listen to. I expected it to be the recon, and you guys were not. I was like, wow, okay. I had whatever. I'm gonna do whatever. I kind of wanted to play the cleansing because I think it would be fun, but there might be another one along the way. Who knows? I might just do it. So there we go. The names have come to us, and I think that's where we need to close. So when we come out fresh out the gates next time, Commander has 2 intel questions to ask, and then we're gonna the Marshal is gonna have to pick the specialists and the squads for those missions, which we don't have to do tonight, and we're gonna be right out the gate on that special recon mission for a relic. Which yes, I did hold back because that would spoil the surprise, but I did give you that so you can at least make out of character judgments to what you guys really want to play, what's going to be the most fun. So that's it. Let's do some quick. Well, does anybody have any questions first of all? Are we good?
Good.
Good. Let's do some quick shoutros, and then we're all going to go to bed. Well, at least I am. So, I'll go right down to the Spy Master, who was so influential tonight, to start us with the kickoff, and then he can pass it on from there. Go ahead there, Mr. User.
I, as with every week, have no other things that go on that require shoutros. So, I mean, whoever is up next. I mean, it's been a joy. It's been a blast. Hopefully, I didn't do too much conniving that has killed the credibility I had before. But anyway, on to whoever is next in the thing. I have to stream up. So
I'm gonna pass it over to Dom. We'll just go clockwise as I usually go.
Yo, what up? It's your boy Dom here on a Thursday night. You can catch me this Sunday as, well, not the GM, but the player in our new Sunday campaign that'll be going weekly for 16 weeks from now, give or take a little bit. It's called the Roman Chiaroscuro, and I know I'm going a little bit over my allotted time for this, but it's a historic drama monster slaying kind of game set in 19th century Rome, which is certainly going to be a lot of fun. I've never done like a kind of historical fantasy kind of game before, but I am incredibly excited about this. We've had a lot of talk about our characters, but I'm not going to spoil any of that yet. Tune in Sunday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time and see what Francesco, our resident Italian here on the server, has in store for us for what is shaping up to be a show you're going to want to tune into. Otherwise,
Right here on Lucas Cheese Variety.
on Thursdays and
Yeah.
coming up on Tuesdays when we start the Tremorin of Stars or Stars Tremorin.
Sea of the-
I'm not 100%
yeah.
sure. Sea of Stars
Sea of the
Tremorin. Yeah, right on. I'm super excited to start that, and after that, a few other games, including Action Movie World, which I've heard absolutely great things about. I'm super excited for all of it. But like I said, I've gone over my time, so I'll pass things over to Dan.
Who's Dan?
Who's that?
Ah, beat you to it.
Sideways? Oh, okay. You actually got me there. You had me second-guessing my sanity.
Hey, I'm Soundwave's Ghost, aka Dan, I guess tonight. Yeah, as usual, thanks for letting me play, and you guys, thanks for playing with us. I do things here on Tuesdays and Thursdays, mostly Tuesdays right now, and this occasional Thursday. Next Tuesday, we'll be back here on this channel to continue with the Masks game, which I think has gone excellent. It's gotten better every time because we've gotten more comfortable playing. Following that up will be a couple more shows, so look forward to that. There's a couple different types of shows, some powered by the apocalypse, some not. I am wobbling on what I want to run at my part because I'm starting to really not like the one I picked as much as I'd like to run the Dino Island thing.
I've been thinking about it too.
Ready, but that's neither here nor right this moment because I can do both. Honestly, it doesn't really matter to me. Either one's good for a short run. So that's it for me. As usual, thanks for letting me play, Lucas and Haruka. You're the last one on the deck.
Hello, I'm Haruka Junko. I'm not the Robotech Master. That's coming later this year.
Yes.
I am, one of the channel hobos. I've been here for a long while, and sometimes you can catch me streaming over twitch.tv/Haruka Junko, and other times you can catch me here. And hopefully, and soon enough into the future, we're getting. I don't know how many.
Uh-oh. I froze up. Hate when this happens.
Hannibal, which is going to be a lot of fun as we get to jump into the next era of Robotech, the Masters Saga.
And looking forward to that boat to show up.
Oh god, yeah, no. Oh, and to anyone who watches the stream and has pre-ordered the Homefront book, make sure to check your pledge manager and get all that stuff sorted away. But besides that, yeah, no, that's all I gotta say. I'm gonna hand it back to Lucas.
Thank you everybody for joining me tonight. Thank you for the players. Thank you for the audience. We did have some audience tonight, and I appreciate you guys being here. Everybody that's out there. Action Shin, another viewer. It's some Catpix06 and Kitten Rescue. I murder those names. That's kind of fun. So anyways, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and now Sundays. Right here, Lucas G. Variety. And I'm starting to do some more solo streaming again on my own to fill in the gaps. Maybe tomorrow. Starting to bring the Zorm character possibly over to do his own streams. Yeah, that doesn't sound like a good idea, but I might do it anyway. So let's get out of here. Anything you guys can do in the future is always appreciated. Whether you're here, whether you're watching, a little financial support, everything goes back to the channel. We really appreciate it, and we thank you for joining us. We have a lot of good content coming down the pipe, so just stay tuned. So now it is my time to say goodbye and get us out of here. So, gentlemen, have a good night. God bless and good gaming. We will see you all later. Good night. Stalling for curtain down. Okay, there it goes. Peace.